3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome back to the Weekly, brought to you by Nutrien. We've got one of the legends of the Avon Footy Association, a man with a fair smile on his face too, because they just had a very good win against the Kellertown. Welcome, Jermaine Bomber Davis.
Thank you, Macca. It's a pleasure to be on your talk back, so thank you for your time.
Yeah, we didn't work last time we tried to do this. You lost the last week and you weren't as happy as you were this week, but that was a cracking display of footy by your boys.
Yeah, it's been a while coming. Since round 2, we haven't been able to get a win, so frustrating times in between. But I think today was a really good day for the club and the boys to just get that winning feeling back and know how to win again. And it was a good game.
Livens up first spot.
Yeah, it makes it pretty interesting between us and them for the rest of the year. So yeah, it's 4 points is 4 points, but it's that last fourth spot that we're both looking for.
Hey, since we last tried to do this interview, 350 games, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, long time in footy. So, it's probably been a good journey.
It's been a sensational journey. You're not going to blow your own horn, so I'll do that for you. You're a multiple 7 years as coach. You're 3 years. No, that's Bombers. That's Boxers. 4 times fairest and best. Started as a 14-year-old. You've been 8 years of coaching. You're a life member. There's not much you haven't done in the Avon Footy Association. Tell us about where do you play your junior footy, mate?
Yeah, played a lot of my junior footy with Colts Footy Club. Unfortunately, they're not going anymore. So the old South Fremantle colours, and coached by my old man and a couple of other Railways people during the time. So there was a lot of great players coming through the Colts Footy Club back then.
So why Railways? Your old man was a very good football player for the Railways Footy Club, but why did you choose Railways?
It's a funny story. My uncle Tom, who first started playing for us in '68, moved to Northam and stayed with his sister, and a lot of the family were Federals players. So he went to training for one night, didn't like it, came across the Railways. Thankfully for us that he made the right decision to stay at Railways, and then obviously Dad played, my brother played, I played, my son played, so and a host of nephews as well. So
yeah, it would have been a different story if they were of the Davis family who went to Feddies. Geez, your head would explode at the moment thinking about that, Bomb.
Yeah, I don't see myself in Federals colours, unfortunately. But Uncle Tom, I guess he laid the foundation for our family to be involved in Railways, and we're lucky he made the right decision.
An excellent career at the Perth Football Club. You were playing last time the Perth Footy Club played finals. Tell us about that. You were a small forward, kicked a lot of goals down there with big Brett Spinks, wasn't it, back in those days?
Yeah, we were pretty lucky. Spinksy kicked 70 that year. I kicked 50, and I think Winston Abraham kicked 45. So.
Hey, Winston could play a bit.
Apart from Damien O'Driscoll, Winston Abraham is the best player I've ever played with. So, and that put Damien in a really good category. But yeah, when you got Spinksy kicking 70, me 50, Winnie 40, you're going to play more finals, I think.
You have. So tell us about your debut with the Railways Footy Club, 14 years of age. And you had a pretty good bloke at full forward.
Yeah, I was a bit scared at Thursday night training. This big sheepy-headed guy come up and said, "Oh, you're playing next to me." And I was like, yep. There's one rule. Whatever I don't mark, you clean up. I was like, oh, yeah, no worries. The first contest come in. I think I sat on his shoulders and kicked the goal, and he goes, that wasn't meant to happen, but okay. And that was obviously a big stinger, Mick Ray. So
yeah, he was sensational and fairly handy bloke to look after you at that stage of your career, mate. I don't know people would have been asserting their authority on you with the big fella hanging around.
No, as a 14-year-old and you got somebody of the category of Stingray, it gives you a bit more legs, I think. So,
hey, tell me, mate, you've been coaching for 8 years on a number of different occasions. You've won multiple premierships here as well, and obviously the fairest and best. Tell me, who were the heroes of the Railways Footy Club when you first started?
Yeah, obviously my old man and brother were really up there as idols of mine. Obviously, Mick Morris, Box and those guys. But I guess David Knight was a really good mentor for me coming through. Knipey was a great player. And obviously, as I continue to play footy, as I mentioned previous, Damien O'Driscoll was, by far the best player I've ever played footy with.
Quick, skillful, do anything, couldn't he?
Could do anything, could play anywhere, and I remember the first semi-final against East Perth. He tagged Brady Anderson, and Brady didn't get a touch, and I think Brady Anderson won the Sandover medal that year. So he's one of the best.
Hey, we've been asking the people, the legends of the Avon, who some of their favourite players they matched up against, and your name does come up a fair bit. So we need to hear it from you. Who are some of the blokes that you'd like to really match up against?
Yeah, there's a lot of tough competition back then. Brendan Marshall, obviously Federals back in the day.
He's a superstar.
Derbies are really tough games. Obviously, the Squires boys out at Quirting, but later in my journey, you can't go past Stinger. Me and Stinger had some amazing battles, and as I said previous, I've still got a few trembling scars from his fists, but you always look out for those competitions and strive yourself to be better. And me and Stinger both play it really hard, and we're best of mates today. So
we're nearly going to wrap this up, but the Nutrien Country Championships, you've been a star down there, really important fixture in the Avon Footy Association. It means a lot. You've coached, you've won A-grade premierships down there. It's coming up again. What does it mean to you?
I think if you're playing a part of an association, you want to be embedded in that association. And the difference is these younger guys playing, and obviously the teams that are losing, you want to be around the good players in the competition. And I think it's 20 years now that it's our premiership reunion where Clayton Forkingham coached, and it's on 20 years, and we still have memories of that day. So, although you compete against each other every week, you want to be playing the footy together and making the most of that. And Country Week's really important for any association to better their football as well. That's that next development.
Yeah, I'm still getting a goal down getting a kick down in the twos, and Cam Watson just spoke to him. He's doing pretty well. We're going to play finals again. You might play in the league. So what do you reckon? You're going to add to your tally with this year, or are you going to watch from the sidelines, mate?
We'll see if the reserves coach will give me a game. I don't know, but I think I'll just try and manage myself a bit. I'll probably play in the Derby next week and see how we go. But young Cam's doing a great job for our footy club with our young blokes. And as I said to him, in 2 years' time, he should be where I am as a senior coach, and I'll mentor him as best I can. But we're pretty lucky at Railway's got two really good coaches that are invested. So,
hey, thanks for joining us, Bob, and best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Here we go.